Hi, welcome to our update. One of our longtime students, Andy, in Michigan, he had been pointing out to me markets where the method's working that I really don't follow these markets. I guess for some of us they'd be kind of off the beaten path. And he's like, hey, I want to show you these, and I want to encourage other people in the program to follow other markets that they might not otherwise follow. So that we can help each other spot these. And I think that's a great idea, and it's definitely about community. And I thank Andy for pointing these opportunities for us out. Before I get to them, though, I need to point out also that trading is a risky endeavor and not suitable for everybody. The first market he was showing me, Andy was very excited about, was the coffee market. Here's a 4-hour chart of coffee, and you can see, look at how it held our zone right there pretty well. Now that's not a big deal because you still had the majority patterns down. But here, if you look at this chart, if you're a swing trader at this point, this is a setup where we have the 5 and 10-day patterns higher. So even if the 20-day pattern is lower at this point, you still have the 5 and 10 higher. So if you're trading that 5, 10, and 20-day patterns, this is very definitely a buy signal. Look at that nice big double bottom in the zone, picture perfect. Now here's a trade that Andy was really excited about. This is a particularly interesting pattern in the coffee here because you actually had the 50-day pattern had shifted higher in here. So your 50-day shifted higher in here. You actually had a correction here. You shifted the 5-day lower. You did no technical damage, however, because the 10, 20, and 50 held higher. This is what we call a reset, and I don't follow coffee, so I would have never seen this. Andy kept Skyping me, hey, look at coffee, look at coffee. Sure enough, that's a beautiful trade there because you take it down hard, but you did no technical damage because you still had the 10, 20, and 50-day patterns all higher. So you get a nice bottom formation in our zone right there. So coffee, a market I don't generally follow, I wouldn't have known about. Here's another market that Andy was pointing out that he was excited about. This is the silver market, and what happened in here, in silver, right in here, you can see it, you actually shifted your trend line in here, something like that. You shifted your 20-day pattern higher right here. So in here, you shifted the 20-day pattern higher, right? Then you have what we call reset. Then you had the correction. Well, the correction takes it down, but you couldn't eclipse that support level there, the bottom of our zone right there. So as long as you held that zone, that means that 10 and 20-day patterns are still higher. They're holding higher. So Andy pointed out this was to the tick, and he took advantage of that. He was really excited today because silver was up big, and he was there. He understood what was going on there. So again, a market I don't necessarily follow all that closely. Silver gave a beautiful setup. So if you follow commodities, you're seeing the advantage of the method. And also, even more important, if you follow commodities, Andy follows the grains, and he's like, I'm looking at the grains, and generally I'd be buying the grains just because they're cheap, but he's saying the method is telling me don't do it, stay on the sidelines. Sure enough, the grains continue to go lower, and because they're not giving signals. So Andy's really he's learning to have confidence in the method, and he's being rewarded for following it. One last trade that Andy wanted me to show. I follow the euro and the yen, and I follow the bigger currencies. I don't follow the British pound all that closely. He wanted me to point out that here's a beautiful setup here, and then again here. And today is Friday. The unemployment number, you had a big surprise in the unemployment number, but look at the method, just keeps on working. Here you could see this level right there. That's, you take that low, and that's a big pattern. That's a big 20-day pattern held. So we love it when the market goes down hard. Everyone thinks, oh, the markets are reversing. All it did is boom, it stops on that level right there. We know that to be support. That's the bottom of our zone, and here it is again. The unemployment number. We draw that zone and look at that, and look where price stopped right on it today. So I guess I better start following the pound closer also. But Andy made a great point too, that all our other students, we definitely need to participate in our Skype chat room more and point these opportunities out, not necessarily to trade them, but to see how that method works in other markets. I know many of us are just, we follow the currencies, we're currency traders, but a lot of opportunities in these commodity markets also. I look forward to someone coming forth and saying, hey, look at how the method's working in some of these stocks, But keep in mind, commodities all have ETFs also, so you could be taking advantage of the method in exchange traded funds also, and stocks outright too. Okay, hey, thanks, Andy, and we'll see you guys back in class. My name is Jay Norris. I teach trading at Trading University.